If you think you live in a free country and you have rights that are yours, not given to you by our rulers and government, think again. Police in this country believe there is a war on cops. Their training teaches them this, and they act accordingly, treating every citizen as a threat.
Don't disrespect JROC, it could happen to you, cause it happened to me.
The police state in America is backed up by an enforcement cartel trained as a military force, not the public servants there to serve and protect the citizens that pay their salaries, as we're told.
It could happen to you, cause it happened to me.
Demanding accountability and defending your rights against the police specifically, and the government generally, are difficult and dangerous tasks. Your right to watch the government and record what you see is a natural right that is protected by the Constitution, and it cannot be taken away by the government.
Thanks for joining Questionable Authority for this new series, The American Police State. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to the series, and make sure you check back every week for the new episode. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with everyone you know, and of course, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to use this series to highlight the propaganda presented to the public to justify use of force and other aspects of the militarization of our police. Another focus will be on officer safety, which is beaten into these order followers' heads at every opportunity. In the land held in high esteem by its citizens as a beacon of liberty and freedom to the rest of the world, disobedience to the authority of government over free people is criminalized, and compliance is hailed as freedom. Welcome to the American Police State.
A Monday warrior, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
They're tapping your phones for no. They're breaking your home for no. And they got cameras on the roof for no. And they're trained to shoot for no. Let's go. It's time to let it be known. I'm speaking up and not against free speech zones. I get 3 clicks a call when I'm on the phone, and they don't need a warrant. He'll break in your home, it's real. Big brothers in the sky, and people get the rise scanned just to fly. The feds ain't playing with neither am I. I'm fighting for my rights and I'm willing to die. I'm a pedigree and was born to lead. My heart's on my sleeve and I'm willing to bleed for those in need and those who believe. It's a seed. We're all born to be free. It's going down in the cities and towns. We're taking the king's head along with the crown. If you're under the stress, don't back down. Just flip your flag upside down. They're tapping your phones for no. They're breaking your home for no. And they got cameras on the roof for no. And they're trained to shoot for no.
I want to highlight these 2 order followers in particular. They follow their training to a T, ignoring natural rights and using the full arsenal of statutes at their disposal to incriminate and show other citizens how this over-the-top response got the job done and kept everyone safe. You know, from those guys who are flexing their natural rights and not hurting anyone, stealing from anyone, or defrauding anyone. I don't know about you guys, but I think these order followers deserve a raise, because I, for one, feel so much more safe. Watch how one of them does the talking and the other stands by at the ready with his AR, just in case either auditor makes a sudden move. After observing this behavior for a while, Texas Sheepdog realizes the real threat this dangerous order follower presents and disarms himself to reduce the probability of being shot. A smart and safe move on his part. That's why we have to highlight the fact this never should have happened in the first place. I'll say it again. If you haven't hurt anyone, stolen any property, or defrauded anybody, then no one has the right to use force or the threat of force to keep you from using each and every one of your natural rights. Yet these order followers use these silly tactics to bully, coerce, take advantage of ignorance, and even frighten free people into either incriminating themselves or complying with orders against their will. Links to both parts of News Now Houston's videos, as well as his and Texas Sheepdog's channels, are in the description below. Be sure to check them out, and if you like them, show them your support by subbing and telling them Questionable Authority sent you. Before moving on to the next topic, let's hear some more from Blood of the Brave. You can check out all of his links in the description as well.
Tapping your phone for the no. They're breaking your home for no. And they got cameras on the roof for no. And they're trained to shoot for no. It's me, Mr. F to the B. A definition of an Irish pedigree. My bloodline's divine, I got a legacy. You wanna go to war? Well then you better be on top of your game and have top-notch aim. Cause once we start, I won't stop the pain. This is combat, verbal contact. You wanna go to war and sign a fucking contract with the FBI or the CIA. Cause the bitches wanna see me DOA. My name's on the list, they want my DNA. Cause I'm Irish and they think I'm in the IRA. Yeah, they're tapping your phones for no. They're breaking your home for no. And they got cameras on the roof for no. And they're trained to shoot for no. They're tapping your phone for no. They're breaking your home for no. And they got cameras on the roof for no. And they're trained to shoot for no.
Though we stand in the shadow of death, the Lord is our God.
The idea that officer safety is paramount to the safety of every other person out in public is ludicrous.
I ain't playing around, make one false move, I take you down. Get back, you don't know me like that. Get back, you don't know me like that.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not wishing any ill will or any bad things to happen to anyone, but they sign up to do that job. It's not like once they get hired, suddenly find out their new career is to be a cop. They knew before they accepted their job, the main focus is to at least temporarily detain us while they ask questions and conduct an investigation to determine if we have violated any number of statutes written on pieces of paper by various levels of the ruling class meant to control us by extorting more money from us. If we refuse to answer questions, we're considered non-compliant, and the threat level to the safety of the officer goes up. This is what they are trained, and we hear them say all the time on videos. Of course, if we refuse an unlawful temporary detainment, they back their actions with a threat of force, and aren't afraid to use it, as I recently found out when I refused to be detained against my will without reasonable suspicion I was either committing, about to commit, or had already committed a crime. As I backed away with my hands up telling the deputy not to touch me, he assaulted me and stole my property as evidence. I believe in the non-aggression principle. It's what separates me from the order followers of the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. The video playing now was published in 2014 and set off a firestorm locally and even got some national attention because of the comments you're about to hear. Ozzie applied his marketing degree to help curb any dissent among the public. It's funny how that marketing degree seems to be much more useful to him than his criminal justice background. He uses local media to spin stories in his favor with the ease that is typical of those in the ruling class. I will commend him. It was a long, drawn-out effort to regain enough trust from his servants to recommend him again as their enforcement master, meaning he has since been re-elected twice now. As you can see, he didn't have a whole lot of competition. He did really put his marketing degree to work to shape the image of his force. Here's the clip that started the controversy over this MRAP, one of many he has faced over the years.
So what is this for? What do you got? What is this?
This is basically a rolling
like a shield for us, for a team to hide behind. It's bulletproof.
What situation would you be in that you would need to pull this out?
We have guys that shoot at police officers. So like they have AK-47s or automatic weapons, and they shoot at us. And this is like a rolling, we can use this as a shield to move the team
I mean,
closer.
what do you call that kind of a vehicle?
This is a MRAP, they call it.
MRAP, wow. You just have Black Friday, that could have been a situation.
Basically, it's just it's cover for our team movements. And it's bulletproof, so there's a lot of people out there with heavy machine guns and heavy weapons, and we use it's bulletproof, so we can use it as a shield.
It seems like this is a campaign, right? All these police officers out in front of Walmart.
It's not a campaign. We're shopping with the children.
You are. Okay, so there's something else.
Oh, no,
okay.
Okay.
This is the kids in there shopping.
Oh, sure. But you know, from a parent, from a citizen.
The kids love to see this stuff for the SWAT team and stuff.
Sure.
And
Yeah, well, my son would too.
Yeah.
But then, as a citizen and someone who's raising children in a world that I don't know what it's going to look like with them, I feel like this is also a kind of a desensitization type of tool, where they're going to think it's normal. You know, a lot of kids grow up and AK-47s in the hands of people policing them while they're going to school is normal.
Times are crazy right now. The world is crazy right now.
Everything changed.
Everything's going crazy. So
everything changed. Yeah, they want us to believe this so badly. Well, I do believe it. Everything has changed. People who truly question the official storylines of any event where our government tries to take away the people's rights in the name of security understand citizens have willfully given over their rights, all for a false sense of security. Empowering our local law enforcement to think they need equipment like this to use on its own citizens.
Well, the nice thing about this piece of equipment is that if somebody is directing fire toward a team that's trying to get in, they safely can pull right up to a fire, take enemy fire, and still try to address a threat without being fear of getting shot.
So I'm thinking that is totally appropriate in Iraq, but what kind of a situation in the U.S. would you see that happening?
I mean, we've got a lot of constitutionalists and a lot of people that stockpile weapons.
Constitutionalists? You mean people who believe in that piece of paper you took an oath to uphold? I'll be highlighting this topic in a future episode of this series. Order followers everywhere are being trained. Constitutionalists present a big danger to officer safety. It doesn't take much digging to figure out maybe these threatening constitutionalists are just trying to figure out why somebody who says they took an oath to uphold the document the constitutionalists hold so dear is threatening to use force if unconstitutional orders aren't followed. Don't get me wrong, I don't agree with constitutionalists, or anyone for that matter, who doesn't believe in a non-voluntary form of government. If I'm not happy with services rendered, I should be allowed to shop around for those services elsewhere. Lysander Spooner said, any number of scoundrels having money enough to start with can establish themselves as a government, because with money they can hire soldiers, and with soldiers extort more money, and also compel general obedience to their will. This is exactly what we have. If we dissent from the ideas of our rulers, they make new rules to control us, and then in turn extort more money from us to hire new enforcement thugs to enforce those rules upon us. Until interactions with government become voluntary, it doesn't matter how our leaders come to power, whether it's by force or the suggestions most people call votes. It is still a small group of people claiming they have a higher right to your life and or property than you do. No matter how you cut it, that's not freedom. Thanks for all your patience with me getting this series started. This is just the first episode and introduction to the series. I hope you enjoyed it. When I originally brought it up, I mentioned the episodes will post on Sunday afternoons. I'm sorry for the delay on this one, but being arrested for exercising my rights and then simply trying to get home afterward, paired with some rather tough news about a pretty major surgery coming up in my son's life, kind of took me back a bit. I want to thank you for all your kind words and support. They really helped me pull out of my funk and get back on my game. It's funny, government claims to be there for us to provide security. At best, it struggles to do that. Yet when we really need help in this cruel world, It's not government or corporations who are there for us. It's our families and our friends. People that we have cultivated real relationships and bonds with. People we care about. If you guys like this video and want to support this channel and series, go check out the merchandise at my online store. Get some gear to spread the message of freedom and support questionable authority. Links to the store and other platforms to support my work are in the description below and on the channel's homepage. Also, don't forget to check out Blood of the Brave. His music exposes the dirty truths about government and corporations few in his industry want to talk about. Links to his content and all the videos and sources I used are in the description. I'll leave you with one more quote to think about from Lysander Spooner. It is self-evident that no number of men, by conspiring and calling themselves a government, can acquire any rights whatever over other men or other men's property, which they had not before as individuals. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like button and share it with everyone you know. Find us on Twitter as well as censorship-free platforms like BitChute and Steemit or DTube. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to smile at someone you don't know every day.